straight from the horse's mouth. Our Neil Young News Report.
Smell the horse on this one.
With this week's update from thrasherswheat.org, here's Thrasher.
Hey, Thrasher here with this week's Neil Young News, and we are reporting from Carnegie Hall in New York City. This is the conclusion of Neil Young's 4-night stand at Carnegie Hall, a historic venue here in New York City, and by all measures, a great success. Definitely fans were enjoying all of the music, and the critics, well, we know about the critics, but we won't talk about that too much, but we certainly had a good time. Saw a lot of good folks here. Heard a lot of great songs, a lot of classics from the Harvest album, and hits from different parts of Neil Young's career. A few rarities in there, lots of highlights. Certainly Phil Ochs Changes, the cover of that, Bert Jansch's Needle of Death, that was a highlight. Certainly enjoyed the Man Needs a Maid, which was on the keyboards and synthesizer. That was certainly an enjoyable song. So all in all, we had a great time. Neil was in fine form, had a lot of good conversations. Definitely check out the tapes. Here on WBKM, playing some choice cuts. Definitely a lot of in-between song banter that was humorous and insightful. A lot of talk about the different guitars that Neil plays. A lot of discussion about Hank's guitar, Hank Williams' guitar, and how that all came about. A lot of shout-outs to Stephen Stills and Martin guitars. So definitely want to try and listen to some of these recordings. Certainly a great run, and at the concerts, you had folks coming in from around the world. We saw folks that came in from Australia, Europe, England, Germany, really across the country, Canada, California. Really a global Neil Young fan community converged on Carnegie Hall this week for the 4 shows. We heard lots of adjectives to describe the show, such as staggering or rapturous, monumental, a tour de force. We could go on. Certainly many of those do appropriately describe the week's events. Certainly the set list was a dream set for most. The breadth of the set list was simply breathtaking in terms of its catalog, although it did focus on what's known as the golden period there of the 60s, 70s, and not much beyond that, other than Harvest Moon, which is from the 90s. But looking out on the stage, what you saw was quite a collection of musical instruments, 8 guitars and banjos, 2 pianos, an organ, a synthesizer, over half a dozen harmonicas, probably 20 or so instruments that Neil Young played. And I think everyone would be very hard-pressed to identify anyone else who could walk onto a stage like that and master so many different instruments across so many different songs. Very impressive. So, as I mentioned, it was a dream set mixed with obscurities and hits. You had things like Mellow My Mind or Flying on the Ground or Journey Through the Past. Mixed in there with lots of the classics like Old Man or Heart of Gold. So there was certainly something for everyone, and as well as those covers that we've been talking about, the Phil Ochs song Changes, and a tribute to Bert Jansch with Needle of Death, and its riff that Neil used for Ambulance Blues. Lots of discussion during the show about Phil Ochs' legacy and Bert Jansch's contributions. So, a lot of talk about Stephen Stills, and a lot of talking about Neil's guitars, Hank the guitar Hank, that was Hank Williams' guitar. So a lot of fun with some of those little comments there. You also had some pretty interesting things happen, like we had a version of Mr. Soul on pump organ, certainly a different mix, if you will. And then we had a pretty mind-blowing one-off on Friday night of Out of My Mind, also on pump organ, which I think was probably one of the bigger surprises of the week. As you mentioned, a lot of dialogue. Neil was in great mood. Actually, right up front pretty much said, people think that I'm cantankerous, and kind of goes on to address a little bit of that. But you definitely want to listen to those between song comments. Check out Rust Radio. They've been playing the entire sets of all the shows this week, so the tapers have been really on it and doing a great job, so thanks for all of that. If you do have to pick a show of the four, seems like folks that were there for all four shows this week, seems like it's pretty much of a consensus that Thursday was the best show of the week in terms of all the ingredients, the songs, and the atmosphere and so on. So check out the Thursday, but that by all means, all four of them are great. So we'll just wrap up here by just saying, it was great seeing all of our friends from around the world coming together. It's always a joy to see everyone out there. We know that we never really get enough time to spend with everyone, so we try. But if we missed you, next time, see you down the road. Also, we'll say that a number of folks have written to us and or told us that these concerts, at some point they would be moved to tiers, and certainly we were as well. So we love all you guys, and until next time, we'll have some coverage of the Honor the Treaties tour up in Canada next week. So lots more to come. Okay, keep on rocking.